How's it going, everyone? I hope you're having a sweet week. You've been asking for more infusions, so here we go. Honestly, I got no idea what to call this thing because I'm kind of just throwing things together, flying by the seat of my pants. I guess we'll see how it turns out. Welcome Distiller, everyone. I'm Jesse, and this is the channel all about chasing the craft of home distillation and making it a legitimate hobby. So if that's what you're into, if that's something you dig, hit the subscribe button down below. It'll be awesome to have you on board. Quite a while ago now, Scott Bro totally hooked me up with some things to make infusions with, and one of those things was licorice root. I've been trying to decide what to do with this stuff ever since, and honestly, I've been slack and I haven't got around to doing it. Anyway, I've had a poke around and I've seen a few things that licorice is used in, none of which I'm really ready to do right now. So instead of doing, something that's distilled, I'm just going to do an infusion and see how it goes. I'm not using just licorice root. It is the first ingredient, and I'm going to be using 10 grams of this, 5 grams of cinnamon bark, 1/4 of a vanilla bean, split obviously, 1 peppercorn, just a little, about 1 gram of fennel seeds, and 5 grams of star anise. Like I said, I don't know what to call this, but I'm just going to give it a go. I just want to try something for the hell of it and see how it goes. And I'm going to be throwing all of that into 500 mils of Teddy Sad's fast fermenting vodka, the FFV sitting at 66%. If you're not sure what this stuff is, I'll stick a card up top so you can check it out. But keep in mind, infusions are one of these things that even if you don't distill, or if you're not allowed to distill where you are, you can still totally make it yourself. Go out and pick up some decent vodka or even some Everclear if you want, and follow along. So to help me get this done, I'm going to use my trusty little jeweler's scale. I bought this mostly for brewing, for weighing out exact amounts of hops, but I found it really useful for distilling as well. You can get these things really cheap off something like AliExpress or Amazon. So if you are interested, I'll stick a couple of links down below to a few. They're so cheap that they do the job well enough for a little while, and if they burn out, you chuck them and get another one. It's no big deal. Of course, if you want to, get the high-end one and don't have to worry about it. Until you spill some hot wort on it or something like that. Alright, let's weigh these things out and get them in the FFV. Now, I've seen people say to strip the seeds out, and I've seen people say to not strip the seeds out. So I'm really interested to hear what you guys do and what you would suggest. For this one, I'm just going to leave it in there. Ooh, it smells good. Alright, and that goes. Honest, I have no idea how long this is going to take, and I've got no idea. I may have to add some stuff to it as well. I'm kind of wondering if I don't have enough licorice in there. I kind of wanted the licorice to be sort of not the star, but stand out a little bit. May need to add a little bit more in there, but I'm thinking I'll let this go for a couple of days, see how it's going, and decide whether I want to make a change or not then. Light on the star anise. I got that 5 grams basically from a couple of other recipes that sort of stated how much they were using in certain other recipes. Like I said, because I want the licorice to be the star of the show, I knocked that down from 5 to 1 gram. I may, of course, as I said, need to change that later. Anyway, time to put this on the shelf, leave it for a little while, and I'll get back to you guys when there's something interesting to show you. This has been doing its thing for a little over 3 weeks now, and as you can see, I'm out in the shed. I got a few things going on. You can probably have a guess at what is happening right now if you've been watching the channel for a bit. That's coming soon, I promise you. But I want to get in and taste this right now because I had a little sneak preview about 3 days ago, and I'm starting to get pretty happy with it. So, Proofed this down to 35%. Really, dog? So I have proofed this down to 35% now, which is about where I think I'm going to be drinking it. To give you a little bit of a backstory, I've tested it over the first couple of weeks, and initially what happened is this huge floral flavor turned up. My wife told me that it smelt like the aquarium aisle in a pet store, of all things. After a little bit of discussion, we managed to figure out that she was actually talking about a cleaning product, so it was like this fake sort of fruity thing going on. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure where that came from, but I think it was the fennel coming out first. That spiked up really high, and all the other things caught up. Now, Scott Bro warned me that this was going to happen when I started just messing with things before I really understood them, and I totally understand that. But every now and again, you just gotta, have a Hail Mary and go for it, right? So with that said, the two slowest things to come out for me, in my senses, were the vanilla and the cinnamon, and they're just starting to catch up now. So I'm kind of waiting for this point where everything sort of comes together and nothing too nasty happens, and I'm hoping that's where I am right now. I was getting pretty close a couple of days ago to what I was hoping for. So the big floral note is still there. It's just as strong, I think, but everything else is catching up with it. I can smell licorice now, whereas in the past I could only just sort of taste it on my tongue after I'd swallowed. It sort of lingered. And I'm starting to get a little bit of the spiciness, maybe a little bit of the pepper, but I think it's more the cinnamon coming out. I have to say that's smelling quite pleasant. It's definitely, like something you'd drink as a digestive or something like that. It's not going to be a session drink, that's for sure. Okay, yeah, so the sweetness of the vanilla's come out finally. That's pairing with the licorice, which is doing some awesome things. But it's kind of balanced by the cinnamon and maybe the pepper. So the vanilla's coming out finally, which is what I've been waiting for. And the cinnamon is starting to back it up with a little bit of hum in the background. I do not want this to end up tasting like a cinnamon wheel or something like that, or fireball. What I want it to do is just kind of enhance the other flavors that are in there. And I think I am getting that now, actually. I'm left with this amazing licorice and aniseed thing mulling over in my mouth. It's insanely moreish, like it makes me want to go back and drink more, which is a little bit dangerous, actually. And the funny thing is, I haven't put any sugar in this yet. This is just straight out of the bottle. But it tastes sweet, and I think partially because it is a little bit sweet from the vanilla, but also it's all these flavors that you're used to having, that you're used to tasting in sweet things, right? You've got licorice, star anise, cinnamon, and vanilla, and all of those things are a pretty standard sort of sweet flavor. And I think sometimes when you taste something that has flavors in it that you're used to tasting in sweet things, your brain kind of tricks you and makes you think that it's a whole lot sweeter than it is. And I think that's what's happening to me right now at 35%. It's definitely got a little bit of a kick, but it also tastes sweet. The fake floral flavor isn't nearly as strong as the aroma, and it is, I wouldn't say ruining the aroma, but the aroma could be so much more than what it is right now, I think. It really does smell a little bit like a cleaning product. I can't put my finger on exactly what cleaning product it is, but it does kind of have that scent to it, I must admit. If I was to do this again, I would either back off entirely on the fennel and just put a little bit in, or wait until it's pretty much done, it's almost ready, and then put the fennel in for like a day or two, because that showed up super quick in this one. Even though this does taste sweet to me, I want to add a little bit of sugar to it, because I think that it might bring out the vanilla and the cinnamon flavors especially. That's my hunch, but I would love to try and see. Anyway, let's give it a crack. So we have the original one with no sugar in it, 35%, and this one mixed down to 35% as well, same ABV. Interestingly enough, the fake floral comes out more with the sugar, which is weird. I haven't had sugar change the aroma that often before, and there's much more vanilla in the original one without sugar. Huh, wow, really? Yeah, really. Wow, okay, sorry, I'm back. That has done the exact opposite of what I thought it was going to do. The cinnamon is gone, the vanilla is almost gone, the licorice is only detectable on the tongue again afterwards, as an aftertaste, and that weird cleaning product flavor has jumped up a whole lot. That is literally the opposite of what I thought was going to happen here. I am super glad that I tried this before I put any sugar in here, because I almost did. I almost said screw it, it's going to be better with sugar, and put a little bit of sugar in to try it and then figure out if I wanted more or not. After tasting this, I think I'm going to proof this down to, I'll go a little bit higher, so the same as I did with the berry tea, and then if I want to proof it down a little bit later on in the bottle I can, or I can, you know, add a couple of drops of water per glass and maybe do it that way. I don't think I'm going to put any sugar in this at all. I just don't think it's worth it. I don't know why I'm disappointed about that. I should be happy about that. I've tried to be relatively impartial up until this point, and now I think I want to tell you how I really feel about this stuff. Sort of personally, whether I drink it, whether I like it. Here's the good part. It is so much more drinkable than I thought. I thought this was going to be kind of like Jägermeister or something like that, that was just super overpowering, and you only drink it in a very specific way or scenario, I guess. It is much more subtle than I thought, and it is much more drinkable than I thought as well. It's moreish. The licorice and aniseed flavor that sort of sits on your tongue afterwards really makes me want to go back and keep drinking it. And because I don't have any sugar in it, it's not a super big, thick, chewy drink, and it finishes relatively dry on the palate as well. That's the good stuff. That's why I like it. The thing that I don't like, it's pretty much just that fake cleaning product. Right now, I'm totally going to drink it. I will happily drink this, you know, once a fortnight, twice a fortnight, after a meal or something like that. You know, it might be really good with Coke. So if you've done something similar to this, guys, I would be super interested to hear about it. Let me know down in the comments or flick me a message on Facebook or something like that. Thanks for hanging out. It's always a pleasure. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up for me. That helps me heaps. If you really liked it and you're not subscribed yet, have a think about doing so. The button's right down below you. And I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.